A lot of people say they're just waiting when it comes to real estate. And sometimes that is the smartest move that you can make. Other times, it's not really waiting. What it is it's avoiding decision that needs actual clarity. And knowing the difference matters more than most people think. My name is Kyle Powers with Haven Real Estate Group at eXp Realty, and this is The Clear Path Home. And in this series, what I'm doing is I'm wanting to help people make clear, confident real estate decisions. No hype, no pressure, no fluff. This is just here to help you make clarity, have clarity in everything that you have. Waiting isn't good or bad by itself. What matters is why you are waiting, right? Because there's a big difference between being intentional patience or just indecision, right? It feels safer than just acting. I get it. Our first principle today is waiting feels safe even when it's not. You guys, waiting feels safe because you are not forced to make a choice. You're not forced to make that decision. You don't have to commit. You don't have to be wrong. You don't have to deal with the trade-offs yet. I get it. A non-committal girlfriend or a non-committal boyfriend, those are the best ones, right? Because you don't have to actually make commitments to them. But those are not the ones that give you fulfillment. I know, I went off a little tangent there, but the comfort in not making a decision is very, very misleading because sometimes waiting isn't neutral. Sometimes it quietly changes. Your options change, your leverage changes, or your stress level changes, right? You're stuck in that small apartment, or you see the rates can go from a 2.75, continue to climb all the way up to, I think at height, they were at 8%, right? There are people who bought houses at 8%. And then everybody says, oh, well, I'll just wait. Now I'm waiting for everything to come back down. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, you're not going to get 2.75%. I don't think you'll ever see that again. And you can mark my words and please throw this video in my face, because if it does, then I'll probably want to refinance with you. But my point being is that waiting continues to let the housing market go up. Okay, so going to do that stuff isn't always the best decision. The mistake people make is assuming that not acting means that there's nothing is happening. And I think we've seen that change over the years, and that's where most people make their biggest mistakes. So in real estate, things are always moving, right? Even when you are standing still, when you're choosing to wait, things are still selling. Houses are still moving. People are still moving. And that right house may come up and it may change or it may do things differently, but I'm telling you, I'm here to tell you that you need to make that decision and you need to be able to move. So if you're waiting because of indecision, please do not do that. Principle number 2 is intentional waiting has a reason. This is where the clear distinction really matters, right? Intentional waiting has a clear reason. It has a defined trigger. It has that understanding of what the trade-offs are, right? You understand that when this happens, then I will do this. When this happens, I will do this. You have that clarity on why you're waiting. And I think that is most important. So what this typically sounds like, we're waiting until this happens. We're waiting because this needs to be clearer. We're waiting with this plan, right? Those are the things that you typically want to see. That we're waiting because we want our credit score to jump up, okay? Whatever those are, whatever those things are, you just need to have that clarity on what that is. So indecision sounds like this. We're just not sure, right? I get that one a lot. We're waiting to see what happens. Well, yeah, of course, I can tell you what's going to happen, right? Or we don't want to make the wrong move. Guys, I promise you, I've made moves in real estate and I make the wrong moves all the time. It happens. Don't be afraid of it. We can pivot, we can move, we can change, we can do those things, right? The thing that people really get scared about is not making that right move or making the wrong move. But the crazy part is that as long as we're in the right moments of time, we can pivot and we can move fast on a lot of things here, right? So one is strategic. One is very strategic on waiting. The other is uncertainty that hasn't been addressed yet. And that difference is everything when it comes to waiting. Principle number 3, waiting always has a cost. You guys, I promise you that waiting does have a cost. And I think that this part is very uncomfortable for a lot of people, but it's very important. And if you've waited, I have a friend of mine who is still renting to this day. And he's told me, I don't even know how many times, Kyle, I should have listened to you back in 2019 when you were trying to get me to buy a house. Or 2020 when you're trying to get me to buy a house. I should have listened to you. I'm like, dude, I know. Because now everything has gone up, right? And that was his cost. So that cost could be for you, that cost might be opportunity. That cost might be leverage. It might be certainty. It could be emotional energy. You might be just fed up with it all. That's possible too. That's probably a bigger one than most people actually realize. Sometimes that cost is worth it, but having the clarity of what those costs are is helping you make those right decisions. But most times I will tell you is that they typically are not worth that cost. The problem is that when people don't know what that cost is because they haven't slowed down enough to clarify what that looks like. Good decisions don't avoid cost. They choose that cost intentionally. So whether you're waiting for the right house or whether you're waiting for your credit score to go up or whether you're waiting for your house to sell, whatever those decisions are, you have that right decision. You just need to have that clarity on information. So if you're waiting right now and you're not sure whether it's strategic or just uncomfortable uncertainty, that's a really good reason, a really good trigger, a really good moment to just slow down and get some clarity. You guys, this is what I do for people. I try to help people understand and get a little bit of clarity of what they are wanting, what they're looking for, what that looks like for them and their family. So if you do have any questions, as always, if you wait till the end of the video, I will give you my personal cell phone number. Please reach out or put it in the comments below what those questions may be, because I would love to get you taken care of and make sure we give you clarity on what your home buying or real estate decisions can be. So the question isn't, should I wait? The question is, do I understand why I'm waiting? Do I know what would change my mind? And do I understand the cost of not acting yet, right? Having those questions answered is going to help you get a lot of clarity on what you want with your life, right? Or what you want with your house. So when those things are clear, waiting becomes a decision, not a default. But until you have that clarity on what that is, waiting is just an indecisive move for yourself and your family. So before I close it all out, I would just want to say that waiting can actually be one of the smartest decisions when you're buying and selling real estate, but only if it's intentional and only if you understand the full cost. So as always, you guys, thank you so much for watching these videos. As I've told you before, please reach out to me if you have any questions or need anything at all. My personal cell phone number is 785-477-5485. My email is kyle@homesforsalemhk.com. And please, 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 if you have any questions or if you need anything, I don't care what it's about, buying, selling, investing, or just anything real estate related, I want to be that source for you. I want to be a resource for you. I want you to ask those questions. I want you to reach out and say, hey Kyle, what about this? Or if it's about waiting, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think the rates are going to do? I get that question a lot. But I want you to have those questions. I want you to come to me with that information. And please reach out. I don't care if it's, your boss referred you to some other real estate agent or your friend referred you to somebody else. Reach out to me. I would love to help you out. And if we're not a good fit, that's fine. Go to that real estate agent at that point in time. But if you feel like we are, I'd love to help you in your real estate journey and get you taken care of. So please, if you need anything, please let me know. I would love to hear from you guys. And as always, go ahead and share this video with somebody that might be interested in buying, selling, investing, or anything real estate. I'd love to hear from them as well. And as always, I try to drop a new video every other week. So let me know. Our next episode is going to be covering why timing matters more than price most of the time. Thank you guys. We'll see you next time.